Welcome to the Three Pillars of Storytelling workshop. I'm your host, Kyle Bowen. Many of you on the Discord will know me as Coffee Pendragon. When crafting a story, you may ask yourself, what do I need to know about my story before I begin? The answer is the three pillars to storytelling. What are those pillars? They are character, setting, and plot. To get the details that you need for those three pillars, you're going to ask yourself 6 questions: who, what, when, where, why, and how. When discovering your characters, the first question you're going to ask is who. Who is your main character? Who is the antagonist? Who is the love interest, the mentor, the sidekick? Who is your cast of characters that you need in order for you to tell the story? The second character question you're going to ask is why. Why is your main character the focus of the story? Why do they care about solving the problem? Why does the antagonist, why are they after the goal? These are character motivations that you should have for all of your main cast. By asking yourself those 2 questions, the whos and the whys, is going to help for you to develop your cast of characters. Next up is setting. The first question you'll ask is when. When does the story take place in the timeline of your world? When does the story begin for your main character? When does it end? Are you telling the story from the past, the present, or the future? The second question you'll ask for setting is where. Where in your world or your universe does your story take place? Where does your main character start the story? Where do they end the adventure? Do they travel through space and go from planet to planet? Do they travel the world and cross one of the oceans? By asking yourself when and where, you're going to further develop the setting of your world to know where your story is going to take place. Next up is the plot of your story, and you're going to begin with asking yourself what. What happened to start the events of the story? What will happen if the antagonist succeeds and the hero fails? What things happened in the world before the events of your story? These are the events, your inciting event, your triggering event. Some things are even going to happen off page before your story began. Then you're going to ask yourself, how? How can the hero succeed? How will they get from page 1 through to the end? How will their life change at the end of the story? You know the character's motivations, so how that helps them and how they learn along the way is going to help you get from the beginning to the end of your story. By getting those questions, you're going to be able to put your plot into place. You'll get the big events first, then the smaller, and then the smaller until you order them out to have a full story. In summary, once you have the 3 pillars, character, setting, and plot, you can start to craft your story. In review, for character, you're going to ask yourself who and why. For setting, you'll ask when and where. And for plot, you're going to ask what and how. Thank you for listening to my workshop, and I hope you have a wonderful day and happy wordsmithing.